Tena jnana phalam praptam Yogabhyasa phalam tatha Tripta swachendriyo nityam Ekaki ramate tuyaha. So these Ashtavakraji's verses are meant only, they are more in the form of Tatparyam. These verses don't have any prakriya. Prakriya means any method of unfoldment. It's more descriptive of the knowledge gained. When it comes to prakriya, then you have to begin with anuvada. This universe, man thinks is a fact by itself, but actually it has a source, and that source from its point of view is non-dual source alone was, and it appears as the Jagat, and itself appears as the seer of the Jagat, and despite the creation of the Jagat, the source alone is there, non-dual, unqualified by the Jagat. Neither the source is qualified by the Jagat, nor the seer of the Jagat also is not qualified by the Jagat, because the very source of the Jagat is the seer of the Jagat. Therefore, it's okay to say that the seer the source is unqualified by the Jagat. Therefore, the seer also is unqualified by the Jagat, and that source thou art. This is all prakriya, tracing the entire thing. It is unfolding the truth at once and explaining away the entire Jagat. It is prakriya means it points out the truth and also corrects the entire error. I can't ignore the error if I have to point out the truth. Whereas Ashtavakraji doesn't undertake any prakriya. That is all right, that is how it is. But he correctly handles the Tatparyam. And he says, Tena jnana phalam praptam. By him, Tena means by him, jnana phalam, the fruit of understanding. The fruit of understanding is the negation of ajnanam. There is no positive result, but there is a positive negative result. Freedom from avidya is the result. Because you can't know the truth. You can be it, you can't know it. Meaning you can't objectify it. Then what is this knowing about? This knowing is more in the form of discerning between what you are and what you are not. Discerning between what you are and what you are not doesn't amount to objectifying what you are. No. And therefore, Tena jnana phalam praptam, by him the fruit of knowledge is gained. That is, freedom from avidya is gained. Gained means as though gained. Like the 10th man, before he discovers that he is the 10th man is also as though lost. And when he discovers, he is as though gained. The very ignorance is the notional loss. The very understanding is the notional gain. Tena jnana phalam praptam yogabhyasa phalam tatha. And the fruit of the entire lifestyle, the fruit of disciplines, the fruit of tapasya, the fruit of self-control, the fruit of values. The entire fruit of yoga abhyasa is also gained because the fruit of yoga abhyasa is the fruit of knowledge. In understanding the truth lies the fruit of the entire yoga abhyasa. Therefore, if a person lives a life of discipline, the fruit of the discipline is understanding the truth. The fruit of knowledge is freedom from avidya, and therefore the fruit of all disciplines also is freedom from avidya. The fruit of penances is, the fruit of prayers is freedom from avidya. In that sense, you are able to follow this point. You don't have different disciplines, don't have different fruit. They are all for antahkarana shuddhi because sankalpa is the same. Behind every discipline, your motive is to have chitta, the mental peace. Behind every prayer, your intention is to have mental peace. Behind every self-control, you have the intention to have mental peace. Therefore, there is a common sankalpa, mental peace. And therefore, the fruit of mental peace is freedom from avidya. The fruit of understanding is freedom from avidya. Swamiji, what about the fruit of mental peace? Freedom from avidya. What is the fruit of disciplines? That is mental peace. But the fruit of the mental peace, what is the use of living a peaceful life? The fruit of mental peace also is freedom from avidya. Tena jnana phalam praptam yoga abhyasa phalam tatha triptaha is satisfied. Swachendriyaha is satisfied with the senses without bias, with pure senses. He sees but without any wrong conclusion. He sees the rope but without a wrong conclusion about it. That is what is called pure senses. A jnani also has, he sees the world but without any wrong conclusion. And if you see the world as it is and you look at yourself as you are, the universe that you see is non-separate from your being. That is yathatmya jnanam, looking at your existence as you are. Triptaha swachendriyaha, nityam, always. A jnani always has pure senses, unbiased senses. Ekaki ramate tuyaha, and he is the one who revels in himself. He doesn't, it's not that really he accommodates ekanta, but he revels in it. Like if in a layman not accommodates the crowds, he revels in it. You don't accommodate city walk, you revel in it. Yes, you revel in it. But a jnani also, he revels in himself. He doesn't revel, there are no objects for him to revel. He revels in his being a non-Jew. I mean, there is a language, and that language is he revels in solitude. He revels alone. His reflection is within himself, by himself, to himself. He talks to himself about the nature of the truth, about the nature of the universe. Therefore, To revel alone is done only by a reflective person, not an ordinary sense reflective person. He is a Brahma Vichara. Brahma Vichara can help you to be with yourself. Raja Yoga, any other speculation, science, technology, riches, pleasures, pains, they can't make you live alone. You don't like, you detest being alone. You want company. In fact, man's sense of division is not only an error, that's what he seems to love. But he loves the sense of division in order to be free from division. Like he loves the objects in order to be free from the objects. He loves the pleasures to enjoy peace in which there is no sense of division, where there is no enjoyed division. I want to have every enjoyment in which there is no enjoyed enjoyment relationship. Everybody wants just peace, to be. Effortless being he wants to be. Like in the deep sleep state, there is no triputi, it just be. There is no sense of individuality in the deep sleep state. There is no sense of personality. There is no sense of individuality. There is no sense of being a physical jiva. It is only being. It is existence. As an individual, we look at ourselves as existent. Do you understand the point? Existent. But in the deep sleep state, we are not existent, we are existence. Wave is existent. Water is existence. But in contrast to the Atma, even the water is existent. The Jagat is existent. And yourself are existence. As a jiva, I am existent. Means a given object. Existing a given object. But the existent doesn't qualify the existence. It's amazing. The existent doesn't qualify the existence. The existent wave doesn't qualify the water that is existence. The existent individuality doesn't qualify the existence, the Paramatma. Due to these subtleties, man gives up self-reflection. But unless there is self-reflection, you cannot enjoy being alone. It's not that he enjoys being alone. He enjoys understanding the non-dual nature of himself. It's not that really he hates crowds and he loves being alone. It's not an emotion for solitude. It's not an emotion for solitude. Nor is it an emotion against crowds. It's not an emotion. Any for and against emotion is an emotion. For, I like this, it's an emotion. To like crowds is an emotion. To dislike crowds also is an emotion. But it is neither emotion for crowds nor emotion for solitude. It is emotion for discerning between what he thinks he has been taking himself to be and the reality. The contrast between human perception and the reality is what absorbs a thinking man. The great contrast between the universal view about the self and the nature of the self, that huge infinite contrast is what interests him. He has a jignasa about the truth, not emotion for a given detail in this world. Neither he has emotion for solitude, nor he has emotion for crowds, nor he has emotion against crowds. He has no emotion for or emotion against. And even if what can be any mood of a person, any mood of a Vedanti which can be interpreted to mean as an emotion, can be explained away as jignasa in the Advaitam. Can be explained away. I trust it is jignasa about Advaita. Even a mood which can be interpreted to mean an emotion, even that emotion, that mood can be interpreted to mean it's in actuality. He doesn't have, that is the Siddhantam. A Vedanti doesn't have moods for things or moods against things. He is not serious about for things, he is not serious about anti-things. Maybe Swamiji is casual about for things, he is not even casual. If he is casual means, to be casual means he is not. Maybe he toes the line of an individual. But otherwise he has no, it is not possible for the interest in seeing the contrast, this interest in seeing the contrast between human perception and the nature of the truth, that jignasa, that interest, cannot accept anything else as a companion to it or a distraction from it, or nor does it require any facilitator of it, nor does it require as a nourisher of it. In fact, discerning between the truth and the universal view about oneself is as self-evident, as unobjectifiable as the truth, as peaceful as the truth. And therefore, ekaki does not mean he loves to be ekaki. That's different. He loves to be ekaki, that may be true in some people, but a jnani cannot be defined as a person who loves ekanta. No. He doesn't love ekanta, he doesn't love crowds. He loves to see the distinction between his existence and his view about himself. Atma, Anatma, Viveka is what interests him. Not the crowds, not solitude, not anything. Because that is his topic. Okay, ji? Na kadachit jagatyasmin tatvajno hanta khidyati yata ekena tenedam purnam brahmanda mandalam. Na kadachit, never. Jagati asmin, in this world. Never in this world. Tattvajnaha, tattva ko janne wala. Hanta, indeed. Khidyati, he doesn't become depressed over anything. Na khidyati. He has no serious depression. A Tattvajna has no serious depression on anything. Because if nothing else, if no part of creation is his interest, because even to feel depressed, you need a reason. You can be depressed over something. You can be depressed over an object. You can be depressed over a particular self-denial, particular denial to oneself. Dukkham also is a kind of a denial. Dukkham is a denial of Sukham. And a non-Sukham also is a denial of Sukham. If I don't get the Sukham that I want to get, I feel denied. If I get Dukkham, then also I feel denied. And over denial, I get depressed. But there is no object because for him the Jagat is mithya. His interest is not a given object in the creation. His interest is discerning between the subject and the object. Call it subject-object, call it existence and what looks existent, what looks to be and what is. Therefore, na kadachit never jagati in this world asmin tattvajnaha hanta indeed khidyati khinna nahi hota hai. Yataha because ekena by one alone, by him alone, by one being alone. Tena by him the one, by him the one, the being. Idam, this universe, Purnam is filled. Brahmanda Mandalam, this entire universe is filled by the truth, which he recognizes to be his nature. Don't associate powers with knowledge. Don't associate miracles with knowledge. The fruit of knowledge is only freedom from avidya. The fruit of knowledge is not miracles. The fruit of knowledge is not powers. The fruit of knowledge is not siddhis. That is all superstitions. Absolutely, it's wrong. It's anti-pramanam. When a person goes to sleep, what siddhis do you get? In fact, when a person goes to the deep sleep state, it is Sakshat Param Brahma. Peace has no powers. Peace has no miracles. Peace is what is. And therefore, if a person is peaceful, don't ascribe to him powers. What is done has a power. What is peaceful, has no power. Therefore, Param Brahma is. But Swamiji, powers, that is really the superstitions. That's where human beings fail to understand Vedanta, the truth. If I ascribe powers to self-knowledge, miracles to self-knowledge, then I don't know how to think of the self. Then I don't know certain subtleties about the truth. What is done if I think a thought, it has a power. Every wish has a power. And don't think really a jnani's wish has greater power. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. A wish is a wish by anyone. Thoughts may have power, words may have powers, actions may have powers. The power is a part of creation. The miracles are a part of creation. But what is has no miracles, has no power. What is peace. Man is not interested, his love is not for power. His love is for peace, to be. in being. He wants to be. Even if he wants to get power, the ultimate intention is, I want to get a lot of power so that I can be happy. You cannot, your desire ultimately culminates in being pleased. I want to achieve money so that I can be happy, be peaceful. I want to be popular so that I can be peaceful. I want this object so that I can be peaceful. Therefore, every desire is only to be. The desire to achieve also is the desire to be. And the desire to be means the desire to be peaceful. And therefore, to be and to be peaceful are one and the same. The truth is being, and it is being peaceful. Therefore, a jnani doesn't get depressed over something. Even a student of Vedanta, if he has got right understanding, he bulldozes his problems. ठीक है जी. Most of the problems get handled by time. The only problem that cannot be handled by time is avidya. Let me handle that. Avidya cannot be handled by time. Whereas every other problem can be handled by time. There are many problems in this life. Supposing even if I don't solve them, so what? I become liberated from them when I die. What is there? Childhood problems are non-existent in youth. And the problems of the youth are not there in old age. Therefore, don't get depressed over material problems, because they are all mostly handled by time. In fact, in time you will be inspired to work for it, and then the problem gets solved. The time itself changes your thinking. But when it comes to avidya, the time does not change your thinking. When it comes to survival, time can inspire you to solve problems. Time can bring about changes in your life. Time can bring about new inspirations, new insights to solve the problems. But when it comes to self-ignorance, time does not inspire you. No. I have to inspire myself through prayer. I have to pray and pray and pray for inspiration to know the truth. Even then the inspiration doesn't come. If a person is born inspired, maybe he had done a lot of tapasya in the previous lives. We don't know. That is, I would like to accept. Jignasa doesn't happen on its own. Jignasa is not a product of time. Jignasa is a product of intense nitya karma. Not even kamya karma. Nitya karma. Daily prayer for mental inspiration for Brahma Vidya. A man has to say, Bhagavan, inspire me to know the truth. You may not even know the phrase Brahma Vidya. You may not even know the information. You may not have the information about the Shastram. But simply say, Bhagavan, inspire me to know the truth. Everybody can know that. This phrase is enough. Inspire me to know the truth. Or inspire me to be peaceful. Inspire me to be peaceful. Guide my thinking is enough, ji. That is also nitya karma. Gayatri is a part of nitya karma, please. Gayatri is not a part of kamya karma. That is why in Sandhya Vandanam there is Gayatri. Gayatri is a part of Sandhya Vandanam. Therefore, in Gayatri there is no sankalpa for material things. Where there is sankalpa for material things, that is kamya karma. In Gayatri there is no sankalpa for material. Therefore, when you recite Gayatri, you are doing nitya karma. Therefore, day-to-day problems, a lot of them will be handled in time. Time itself can inspire you. Time itself can solve them or can inspire you to solve them. Or you can your prarabdham can solve the day-to-day problems. But when it comes to the self-ignorance, time is not a healer. And therefore a Brahma Jignasu, who has become a Jignasu as a result of lives of Nitya Karma, even he will not be depressed. He will just bulldoze all his day-to-day problems to time. Because you cannot have a perfect life so that you can enjoy a bit of happiness. Aisa nahi hoga. You can't have a perfect life. All is in their place. Aisa nahi hoga ji. Just as you can't have a perfect health. Even to get some reasonable health, you have to keep running in the parks. Nahi hoga ji. You can't have perfect health. You can't have perfect finances. You can't have perfect life so that you can smile and be happy. It's not possible. Why it is not possible? That is because it's not possible to have perfection as a jiva. A jiva can never have a perfect life. In the Jagat, there cannot be a perfect pleasure, there can't be a perfect relationship, there can't be a perfect object, there can't be perfect health, there can't be a perfect emotion, there can't be a perfect individual, you can't have a perfect husband, etc. These are all meaningless. The more you understand, the better. Because perfection is a synonym of the non-dual. Where the other is not, that is perfection. The truth is perfection. And when the truth is perfection, please, expecting perfection in the mundane world doesn't work. It's not possible. Therefore, one's even day-to-day cheerfulness should not hinge on perfection in the world, perfection in one's life. Even day-to-day cheerfulness. Even day-to-day simple cheerfulness should hinge on only Brahma Jignyasa in my thinking. Even day-to-day cheerfulness should hinge on only Brahma Jignyasa, not on perfect health, perfect finances, perfect relationships, and following perfect rivas is all meaningless. Following conventions, being acceptable conventionally, that kind of thing. If a person is a brahmachari, he is not accepted. If a person is a grihastha, he is accepted into the parties. Why? Because they are all couples. Couples accept only another couple. These are called conventions. These conventions should not depress you. It doesn't make any difference. It means anything. It doesn't mean anything. Nor should you try to have all brahmacharis club. It is all meaningless. Because even if you have a club of your own, it doesn't mean you can cheer up. Changing convention or being a rebel against convention is not the answer. Convention is not the topic, boss. जिनको कन्वेंशन चाहिए, let them. But I am out of it. I am free from it. I am more interested in seeing the difference between what I am and what I am not. The being and thinking, simple question. In fact, the best phrase I have found, discern between being and thinking. Because being is swata siddham, thinking also is anubhava vishayam. Being is anubhava swarupam, and thinking is anubhava vishayam. Discern between anubhava swarupam and anubhava vishayam. Therefore, a jnani, not even a jignasu, a jnani doesn't depressed over anything, even a jignasu, a right jignasu doesn't get depressed over anything. Third verse, ji. Najatu vishaya kepi swaramam harshayatyami swaramam harshayantyami sallaki pallava prita sallaki pallava pritamiva ibham nimba pallavaha. Sallaki pallava means, tender leaves. Sallaki pallava means the sprouts of a creeper, which is called sallaki. What is its name in English, I don't know. But you can understand this much. Sallaki pallava means the sprouts and tender leaves of creepers. Pritamiva is pleased. What is it that is pleased? Ibham, an elephant child. A baby elephant is always pleased with the tender leaves and the sprouts. Ibham means a baby elephant. Sallaki pallava pritamiva ibham. Nimba pallavaha. The neem ka patte do not tempt a baby elephant from the tender leaves. You understand neem ka patte? The bitter leaves don't tempt a baby elephant away from the sweet, tender leaves and sprouts. In the same manner, najatu vishayaha kepi, no objects. Harshayantyami, tempt. These objects do not tempt a jnani. These objects do not tempt a jnani, who is swaramaha, the one who revels in himself. Reveling in himself is not, please don't take it as he is peaceful with himself. That is swarama. You are reveling in your sleep. Is it an action? When you are peaceful, you are happy, you are peaceful. Swaramam, the one who revels in himself, is not tempted by the objects. Just as a baby elephant is not tempted by bitter leaves away from the sweet leaves. Bitterness cannot tempt you away from the sweetness. The objects are bitter and the self is sweet, as it were. But Swamiji, some people like bitterness. It's just an example, ji. The unpleasant doesn't tempt you away from the pleasant, yes. The disturbance doesn't tempt you away from the peaceful. One's own existence is most evident, that is, our existence is not in front of our eyes, please. Our existence is aparoksham. Our existence is aparoksham. Listen to this sentence very well and reflect on this sentence. Our existence is not in front of our senses. Our existence is not in front of our eyes. Our existence is not a part of the creation. Our existence is aparoksham. Our existence is unobjectified. Unless it is objectified, it cannot be. If it is objectifiable, it is only thought to be, not is. To be objectified, to be thought, is different from to be. These words make them very, very serious in your mind. Najatu vishayaha kepi, no objects, koi bhi objects. Swaramam, the one who revels in himself. Harshayantyami, ami means these objects. Do not tempt. Harshayanti means do not tempt him. Do not promise him, we will give you more, etc. That's called, they don't really promise. They can't promise him. He is not receptive to the promises made by the objects. He doesn't listen to the temptations given out by the objects. In fact, even this sentence is not necessary. A person who understands correctly, he understands there is no object. Unless there is some object other than me, it cannot attract me or repel me. An object can respond to me, an object can only attract me or repel me only if it is something other than me. The wave cannot attract water. The wave cannot repel water. The wave is non-separate from water. Another form, another wave this wave can be attracted by that wave, this wave can be repelled by that wave, but there are no emotions between the form and the substance. There are no emotions. There is no transaction of emotions. You don't, between the wave and the substance, between the wave and water, there are no emotions. It is oneness. Similarly, between one's existence and the universe, there are no emotions parading. The scuttling between, I give the world the love and the world also gives me love. I give it hate, it gives me hate. I give it pleasure, it gives me pleasure. This is what is called emotions shuttling between the source and the form. And this kind of shuttling of the emotions is not there between the seer and the seen, because between the self as it is and the form, there is no emotion, there is only oneness. Temptation also is a kind of an emotion. Water is not tempted by the wave, ji. So these are very, very, very serious reflections, ji. Because of these subtleties, man gives up Vedanta. If he is told that you have to go into these details, that between the universe and you, actually between one form and another form, there can be emotion. Between one jiva and another jiva, there can be emotions. But between the jiva and Brahman, there cannot be any emotion. In fact, between jiva and Brahman also there are no emotions, even though Bhagavan says, I am dear to my bhakta is very dear to me, etc., etc. They all have to be understood only if you look at Bhagavan as another jiva. If you look at Bhagavan as another jiva, then Bhagavan has emotions for you, and you have emotions for Bhagavan. Maybe Bhagavan reciprocates with more emotions for you. Bas, itna hi hai. But if you look at Bhagavan as the unlimited, and between the unlimited and the limited mind, there cannot be any emotion, because the mind is non-separate from the unlimited. This oneness is to be understood. Where there is oneness, it's not a realm of emotions. It's not a realm of attractions and repulsions. Attractions and repulsions, no. And therefore, a jnani is not only that he is not tempted by the objects, not that he doesn't allow himself to be tempted. He understands there is nothing to tempt him. Yes. There is nothing to tempt him. Is it really true, Swamiji? Anyway, that is what Vedanta says. You see for yourself. If I say yes, you have to believe it. If I say no, then you have to believe it. And beliefs don't help you at all. You verify in yourself. This is what Vedanta says. And that is in keeping with your anubhava, and see for yourself. What Ashtavakraji says is you have to verify it within yourself. Truth needs to be verified. The teaching needs to be verified within yourself. Next verse, Ji. Yastu bhogeshu bhukteshu na bhavatyabhivasitaha na bhavatyadhivasitaha abhukteshu nirakangshi tadrisho bhavadurlabha. Yastu bhogeshu bhukteshu. This is a very useful verse, Ji. A jnani is one when he enjoys something, when for survival he is. It's not possible to accept a jnani enjoys for enjoyment's sake. I don't think really there can be a pleasure that can match the peace of his being. Therefore, he has no attraction for any pleasure. Therefore, whatever enjoyment, whatever he drinks, sees, eats, etc., should all be taken as survival based. Sharira yatra. A jnani takes things only for sharira yatra, not for sense pleasure. That is very difficult to accept. And he has got a prarabdham to determine what kind of things come to him for even sharira yatra and what don't. Whether he has to go to a kshetra for bhiksha or he has got better deal, what is the kind of prarabdha he has? He has to leave everything. Whether he is a jnani or an ajnani, ultimately your basic facilities are all dictated by your prarabdham. Your comfort zone is dictated by your prarabdham. Your effort may get some extra things. In fact, all redundant things you get from your effort. But the basic needs are all achieved through prarabdham. But one thing is, a jnani when he enjoys something, yastu bhogeshu bhukteshu, when he enjoys the objects, na bhavati adhivasita, he doesn't carry the memory of them. He doesn't carry the vasana for it again. Vasana means, carrying a desire for it. Therefore, a jnani, when he enjoys something, that pleasure doesn't make an impression on his mind. He doesn't give any attention to the pleasure of it. He gives attention to only the truth. And therefore, because you can't enjoy unless it is something, you are interested in it. A jnani has no interest in any, because there is no pleasure that is a match to discerning between what he is and what he is thinking. There is no pleasure that is as comforting, as absorbing, as peace-giving, as Atma Anatma Viveka. If there is no match to Atma Anatma Viveka, please, how can you take interest in any pleasure? Because even the interest in pleasures is possible only when you depend so much on the taste of the things, on the feel of the things, on the touch of the things, etc. You have to be totally lay, you have to be totally ignorant of what the Shruti says in order to take interest in the objects, not otherwise. You have to be too far away from, should I say, the truth. You should be far away from the reflection on the truth to take interest in the things, to take serious interest in the things. That's, I would like to say. When a person doesn't take interest in a thing, and even if he enjoys it, how can it make an impression, ji? The strength of the impression is proportionate to the interest you have. If you don't have any interest, you are taking it only for survival, then how can really adivasitaha, how can he be impressed? Just as he doesn't carry the vasanas of what he enjoys, abhukteshu, what he has not enjoyed, nirakankshi, he doesn't look for what he has not enjoyed. He doesn't have the vasana for what he has enjoyed, and he doesn't crave for what he has not enjoyed. Abhukteshu nirakankshi, tadrisho bhava durlabha. Such an individual is very rare to come across in this world. Bhava, durlabha. Bhava means dunya mein. Durlabha. Such an individual, the one who doesn't carry the vasana for what he has enjoyed, and the one who doesn't crave for what he has not enjoyed, such an individual is very rare to come across in this world. See, it may be rare, ji. That's not my question. There, it may be rare, it may not be there at all. That's not important. That's not important. What is important is there a reality that is available to be known? Is such a situation available? Not to be interested in the pleasure. A situation in which I would not be interested in any sense pleasures, is that situation available for man to know? Or it's not available? That should be my thinking. How many know the truth is not important. That's कितने लोग आते हैं इस दुनिया में वेदांत के लिए, how many people know it? That's unimportant, ji. That's unimportant. What is important is truth available for knowledge. Is the truth the answer? Is truth accessible to be understood? Is really the truth there? Is there really something to be discerned between one's existence and one's form? Or is one's existence synonymous with one's form? Is not one's existence a real illusion and the form the reality? What is illusion? Is my existence an illusion and the form reality? Or the form an illusion and my existence reality? But anyway, existence is felt, form is felt, they are aware, they are accessible to be discerned. I should be able to figure out. No platter comes. Clarity doesn't come on a platter. What is evident, I should be able to figure out. There are some intellectuals who say, you don't need the scripture. If truth is self-evident, I should be able to know it. But that's a kind of a very rebellious statement. But there is some truth in what they say. The truth in what they say is that what is self-evident is accessible for understanding. What is self-evident should be accessible to understand. But Vedanta unfolds what is self-evident. It is self-evident, but then you are taking it to be conditionally evident. There is an error. Shruti recognizes the error about the truth. Body is an error about the truth. Body doesn't have an association with the truth. Body is a mistake about the truth. Whereas, even though one's existence is evident, but that I am Deha is an error is not evident. It is within experience, but it's not known. It's not known. I am the form is known, but this idea that I am a form is an error, is not known. And what is not known is conveyed by the Shruti. Sir, your idea that you are a form is mithya jnanam. Therefore, the self-evident needs to be, self-evident it doesn't have to be pointed out, but the error about it needs to be pointed out. And therefore, how rare is jignasa in this world? Don't worry. Don't get depressed over the rarity. कितनी लोग है इस दुनिया में सुनने के लिए, कितने लोग है पढ़ने के लिए, कितने लोग है पढ़ाने के लिए. Don't get udas over the number of people. That's not important. When you go for lunch, how many people have food to eat, etc. Do you think like that? You just eat, that's all. That's your everybody's need. Therefore, is truth accessible? Is the talk about the truth as an illusion or is it a fact? Man always craves for happiness. That happiness, is it a wild goose chase or is it accessible? How is it accessible? Where is it to be accessible? Thus, all these things are made clear by the Shastram. And therefore, that it is available for knowledge, that what man loves is accessible for him, is available for him to know, this is what is important to know. How many people are studying and how many people are teaching, that is unimportant. The rarity is not important, because the rarity only dictates the commercial value. Understand, gold is a rare metal. That's why it's very expensive. Therefore, don't even think in terms of rarity of the jignasa, rarity of knowledge or anything. Human being happens to be the truth, but he doesn't know. That should make it interesting. Okay, ji. Purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.